Hey guys, welcome back. It is time. We're going to take a look at some more of the nonsense, the shenanigans, the shady business that's going on in Japan. More reseals up and down, all around. Everywhere you look, it's repacks with modern Japanese Pokemon product. It's sad to see, and I'm gonna let you know where I think you should be buying your Japanese seal product. I don't think anyone, unless you're getting it straight from the Pokemon Center or the Amazon Direct, Amazon Japan Direct, I don't think you should be keeping it sealed. I think there's too much risk involved with doing so. And we're going to take a look at a couple more of the examples here. We're going to also get into, I guess, the places that you should be avoiding that seem to be the hot spots for resealed Japanese product. But at the same time, if you've run into anything, if you purchased any Japanese product that was resealed, please reach out to me. I'd like to we got to create some sort of a matrix and lead it back to who's doing all this stuff. Clearly, there are some that are repeat offenders, and hopefully those that are doing this are getting prosecuted appropriately, because it is definitely fraud. So again, guys, be careful, especially if you're sitting on sealed product. You probably shouldn't be sitting on sealed product. Man, the whole thing is just a ball of sketch. Personally, even if I was collecting Japanese cards, I don't think I would be buying at the current prices. I think the Pokemon Company needs to put some more security things in place, I guess, primarily. But also, just in general, needs to print more product so that the price of it is not enticing enough to commit the fraud that's being committed. So we're gonna look at the first one here. We got Pokemon Deals Community, who posts the Japanese counterfeit saga continues. This collector amassed a fortune worth of EV heroes, one of the greatest Japanese modern sets ever created. I don't know how important that is. After some suspicion, they decided to open a box to check. Resealed Pokemon TCG. So, if they had this for quite a while, that stings. Also, this is, look at the insane amount of boxes that are here. I don't know if there's any mention of how much they actually paid for them versus what they're worth now. But what they're worth now is way off on what was actually in the boxes themselves. So they did seal it with Pokemon card packs, but nothing even close to the same value. We have here, for perspective, these boxes market up to 400 USD. The packs that were replaced are at best $3 to $4 each. So we're looking at $300 loss here. If you're looking at current value, again, it depends on what they paid for them. But regardless, you don't want to be caught sitting on something like this. And again, the packaging is so... even the rip strip that they added to the Japanese boxes will not protect you. I have a video on the channel here where maybe I'll put a link to that down below, and I'll try to add it at the end as one of the video options that you can click on to watch that if you haven't already. But essentially, you can pull the side flaps out even on the rip strip packaging. And people have been doing that, and even if the packs are in there, they're the correct packs, they could swap out. They can easily remove the big hit from the box. For anyone that doesn't know, usually the Japanese boxes have one big hit per box, and so they steal your SR slot essentially, and put another one in there. There are numbers on the back side of that. We're not going to get into that detail too much, because again, there's that other video that you guys can take a look at. That is an ongoing investigation to find out about that seller, because they have done it to other people. They did it to me, which is not a big deal. I made a couple videos out of it, but it is a huge issue for anyone that is just trying to collect what they like. That doesn't have a channel necessarily, that wasn't making content out of it. They're getting ripped off, and that's not okay. We're not here for that. We're not going to let that happen, and we're going to do our best to get these people prosecuted. Again, with the law enforcement in Japan, some lawyers that might have to get involved, yeah, hopefully this whole thing kind of fixes itself if the prices can come down. And if enough people are going to jail over this stuff, then maybe they'll rethink what they're doing, essentially. All right, Deals is saying, just like the previously reported V-Star incident, this was another purchase from Mercari Japan. So again, Mercari and Yahoo Japan, you got to be very careful regardless of what you're buying. There's a lot of, it's basically like yard sale style, anyone can list sort of eBay style stuff. I guess without the buyer protection that is offered by eBay. So eBay is always the safe way to go. As long as you're opening the product, you can go through eBay. I would recommend Amazon Japan at this point. That's if you can't get it direct from Amazon Japan. Check the seller's feedback on Amazon or from the Pokemon Center Direct. Those are going to be your safest options. If you are keeping the stuff sealed, I would suggest you keep your receipts and all that so that you can show whoever, like potential future buyers or whoever, that they can have a little bit more confidence in the boxes and stuff. I guess significantly more confidence in the boxes that you've received. If it was straight from the Pokemon Center, then you know you're probably getting something good. They're not going to be accepting returns and sending that stuff back out. So that's kind of the only safe way to have sealed product at this point in time with modern Japanese stuff. Even if you're getting it from somebody that has a bunch of other boxes that aren't resealed, who knows if some percentage of them are, and it sucks. It ruins it for anyone that, I mean, sealed product is probably not the solution at the moment to the ongoing, expanding, ever-growing demand of these Japanese sets, the Japanese cards, the Japanese sealed product, just because it's going to pull more of it off the market. We saw that kind of in the 2021 bubble, with everyone with their shelf behind them filled with all the stuff that you could buy at Walmart. There's the sealed collectors. A lot of that stuff, again, it's gonna weed itself out. People are gonna either open that stuff, they're gonna sell it to somebody else that's gonna open it. I always get that question all the time, like, oh, sealed stuff is not gonna be worth anything, right? Because everyone's keeping sealed stuff. But the truth is, just that's always been said all the time over the years. Everyone had a billion boxes of whatever set, XYZ set, and it's just not the case. It ends up getting opened over time as it goes up in value. People are going to sell it off. People are going to break, shake, and bake it on their whatnots and their Facebook and all that other sketchy stuff. But yeah, anyway, back to the topic. Mercari, definitely a no-go on current Japanese, and you can buy through Mercari. Both Yahoo Japan and Mercari through Bai. I do have a link down below. It just lets them know that you guys are interested, but also at the same time, if you sign up with that link, your first purchase, you'll get a 2,000 yen off, or a coupon that you can apply to your first purchase for 2,000 yen off, which is it's kind of a win-win. We've done some videos on the channel here where I was primarily ordering new Japanese sets. I don't collect the Japanese cards, so all those cards were going to a friend of mine. But it was still fun to do. At this point in time, I'm taking a little hiatus from opening the Japanese sets as they come out, because it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. We got the resealed product, but also just the price of it is not, even in terms of making content, I feel like it's not right to be spending that much on booster boxes when they come out. And hopefully that solves itself, and eventually we can get back into doing those, because it is fun. Although I don't know, it kind of takes away from when the English set comes out to do that. Just my personal experience. I don't know. I think a lot of people liked watching the new Japanese sets get opened. A lot of people like doing that. They open the Japanese, maybe they open English afterwards. But again, my personal stance is I feel it feels better. I mean, there's no way I can avoid spoilers, right? There's just no way. I look at Pokemon stuff basically all day, every day. So avoiding spoilers, especially the chase cards, is pretty much impossible. But still, the fresh new opening of a new set, the release day streams that we've been doing with the English stuff, that was pretty awesome. And Obsidian Flames, I think it's going to be different. It's going to be a different experience, because the Japanese set comes out very close to the English one. And I think that will also help with the current struggle that is the supply on the Japanese end of things, because more people will be just like, okay, I got to choose. They're both coming out around the same time. Maybe I just go with the English because it's coming out soon. If you guys are waiting for pre-orders, I'm still looking into exactly like the supply end of things, the allocation end of things. So PSA Pikachu is there's an event in the Discord is going to have his pre-orders up on the 7th, July 7th. He's saying that his allocation got cut. Other people are saying that they got more than they wanted. So I'm trying to figure that out exactly. It wouldn't surprise me if like the initial print run or availability on release is kind of small, like it has been on the last couple sets. But we'll see how that goes. It'd be interesting. I'm excited for that. Make sure you tune in on release day. We'll do the big boy opening. Probably 3 cases again. It's a good amount. Good. What is it, like 6 hours hanging out with you guys? All right, we got to get back onto the Japanese stuff though. So this is the primary focus of the video. I know we got a little off topic there, but yeah, we got Goodbye 151. Guys, 151's coming out in English. Hopefully the Japanese gets reprinted for the people that want to collect the Japanese, or if they want to collect both. We gotta be patient here. I think this is going to be another 2021 that we had in English, which was not a concern. Again, what was like Vivid Voltage was the most absolutely difficult to get on release. You know, marked up by everyone because it had to be ridiculousness that ever went on. And now you can buy. Somebody posted in the Discord the other day the Rainbow Chew, the Hyper Chew, for not very much money, and in a PSA 10. So you got to remember, the new flashy thing comes with new flashy thing tax. Why are we going? We're going into Discover More. All right, we're not going into Discover More. All right, article number 2, or I guess incident number 2. We have Sakura's card shop, who says, "That's rough. I'd be flying to Japan and opening a can of freedom. Thankfully, we don't lose any money or get scammed when we had the refunds. That was bank issue and then supply issue." So the people that are reselling in the US primarily, I guess, or anywhere really, they're going to run into issues as well. And again, guys, don't pre-order super early on stuff. Be careful with pre-orders, especially the English 151 stuff. So we got Vault members. We have several updates for you regarding Pokemon 151. If we have not fulfilled your order, we will be fulfilling half of our customers' orders and refunding the other half. So essentially, they got ripped off by the person that was providing the boxes to them. They took pre-orders. So this is why I say, even with the English stuff, don't order early. Don't order before the stores are going to have their actual allocations on this stuff. Here, I guess this is a different scenario, but this could be something that gets passed on. This is a huge like red flag. Guys, make sure no matter what you're buying, you have some sort of buyer protection. And it sucks for the person the store that is selling the Japanese product. But you as a customer have to look out for yourself, because if they all of a sudden get half of what they're supposed to get, or they get none of what they're supposed to get, and they spent the money on it, but then they don't get the money back, and they go out of business, and you don't get your product because they never received it, they spent the money, you sent the money to them, then you can be in trouble as well. So again, that's why you have to do your best to avoid. I know it's appealing. Everyone wants to go for like the cheapest price, no matter what. Even if the site looks like it just popped up, it's a Shopify one and done. Someone slapped their dick on their keyboard and came up with a website that sells Pokemon stuff, and it's $5 less than PSA Pikachu. But again, is it worth the extra hassle? It's the same thing with the reason why I personally don't I don't bother with like going and haggling and daggling on like Facebook groups and stuff like that, buy and sell, because it's just the extra effort that you had to put in talking to somebody, whether it's, you know, negotiating a price on something because they don't want to put the price, you got to DM them for the price, crap like that, or them not sending it, or them wanting friends and family payments only, or stuff like that. Just like all kinds of crap that you can just avoid. It's best to avoid it if you can. And again, same goes with choose somewhere reputable. I would suggest, if you're in the US, PSA Pikachu. It's also going to be shipped in a way that it's not going to get destroyed. So if you're concerned about the condition of the box when it gets to you, I mean, it matters a little bit less if you're going to open it anyway. It's pretty tough. I mean, sometimes you'll get stuff sent in a bubble mailer, like a booster box sent in a bubble mailer is probably going to get pretty beat up. If it's for seal collection, PSA Pika's got your back. It's going to be packaged really well. And then if you want like sealed cases or anything like that, you can also add that in your order notes, and or contact them beforehand to make sure that you have a sealed case. I know if I'm ever buying a case of 6, I would want it to be a sealed case of 6, even if I'm going to open them. Personally, that's just it's a nice little thing. I like to see what's within the full case, start to finish. I like to cope a little bit. Guys, how I tell you that all packs are equal, whether they're booster boxes or loose packs, 3-pack blisters, all that stuff. With a sample size that is large enough, it's all going to equal out to the same thing. But also at the same time, I want to feel like the opening a case is going to be make it less likely for me to get duplicates on the chase cards. Just the way that maybe it's seated in. I don't know if that's real. I don't know how you would ever prove that that's a real thing. You'd have to open just a disgusting amount of cases to know. Even with the stupid amount of packs that have been opening, that is not. We're not even close to being able to tell. So again, that's a cope on my part, and I will gladly admit. Lucky Vault was unfortunately involved in a buyout scam that occurred in Japan, resulting in a loss of $50,000 for our cases. So the $50,000 here, that can easily sink a game store. Especially if it's just like a pop-up game store recent times, if they don't have like a huge backing, if they don't have some way to recoup that 50K, like 50K, depending on how big the game store is, what they're running on. If they're running on fumes or something and they get a 50K hit, like they're in trouble. They're in serious trouble if they don't have a way of getting that back. All of our pre-order cases are gone, and the Japanese commercial shop owner responsible for the scam has fled. Unfortunately, we have no official contract with the shop, making it difficult to take legal action and trace the money back. After a week-long battle, we managed to secure. So that's the thing too. The shops or the resellers of these boxes, whether it's Whatnot Joe 69 or Facebook Marketplace Johnny 44. 420XX butterfly kisses _ butt sex. If they got a stack of boxes, what are they gonna do? What if they're gonna do if they're resealed, if they didn't pay in a way that they can get their money back? All of a sudden they built trust with like these companies. They got out, they started buying in big numbers, they started buying from someone else who gave them a slightly better deal, and then all of a sudden 50K, poof, gone. That puts them in a bad spot, and that can put you in a bad spot if you send them some money up front, especially if you send them some money in a method that is dangerous, that is full risk, full whatever's going on here, because maybe you see a good deal, you spend too much money on it, and you get burned in the end, because it's just like it's going to move down the chain. It can potentially move down the chain if the person you're buying from doesn't have the means to make that right, or if they decide like, hey, like if somebody's Whatnot flip dipping, and they take a 50K loss, do you think they're gonna just like take that on their own dime? Do you think they're taking the hit for that, or are they disappearing? Or your Facebook Marketplace buddy that's hooking your plug that's hooking you up. You think they're gonna shell out that 50K to the people that pre-ordered that stuff, or do you think they're gonna say, no, I can't, it's not my fault, it's the person that was supposed to give me the boxes? So you can see how a mess can start pretty easily here, with pre-orders in advance, even with pre-orders in English in advance where the store doesn't have the numbers yet. Don't do it. I know everyone's got their butthole full bore for 151 that's coming out, but you got to be careful. It's going to be fine. There's going to be lots of it. Hopefully we can say the same about the Japanese stuff. After a week-long battle, we managed to secure additional boxes of 151 for our customers, despite the high demand and supply issues in Japan. However, our buyout rate cannot be fulfilled at the moment. We are currently not able to fulfill all orders we have at the moment. There have been several issues with the website where we have way more orders than our capacity can handle. So there you have it. And this is the same thing with the English pre-orders, with any pre-orders in general. You got to be careful. You got to be paying. You gotta assume the worst case scenario. The same with if you meet some sketchballer 69 on Instagram that wants to sell you some stuff. If you don't know them, if they don't have some sort of reputation, then you have to be careful and you have to protect yourself. So I know I keep saying this over and over again. All right, issue number 3, incident number 3. We've got a lot of like trio videos coming out here recently, but again, there's so much to cover that we need to combine them into the same video in order to make it more concise and more to the point. I mean, we can't make 3 different videos out of this. We're not going to do that. That would be ridiculous. And again, we're bringing in some other topics. So I think this is just more of a market discussion overall. And also we're going to go into, we'll take a look at Buy and we'll take a look at Amazon Japan. And hopefully I'll have some updated videos on how to make these purchases. I do have a Buy video that I'll link down below on like how to buy stuff from Japan. And again, I would say that you got to go with the Amazon option at this time if you're going that route. If you can't get something directly from the Pokemon Center, I mean, you can use Buy to get it directly from the Pokemon Center, but I think 151 would be near impossible to do so at the moment. I don't know if they're still doing the lottery system, but the Amazon Japan one has come back. I think it was gone for a little bit, but now it's back up on there. We'll take a look at that real quick. Okay, Pokemon deals. V-Star Universe booster boxes appeared to have been resealed with orange 100 juice boxes. So it'd be interesting to see, like, are these orange juices and protein milks? Are they the same weight as the packs would be? We're getting creative here. So not only did they, they didn't steal your hit pack, your SR pack. They didn't steal the packs and replace them with cheaper packs. They're just straight up putting liquid in there. You can probably shake this around and hear that there's liquid in it. So at least there's that. If people have V-Star and they're concerned that they have orange juice in there, you can probably shake it around and hear the orange juice. Crazy to me that they would reseal with something like that. We saw, I think, stacks of paper in some of the other stuff, which I guess sound at least a lot more like packs in the box rather than a solution around of milk and or orange juice. I really hope that everyone that is doing this shit gets absolutely prosecuted in the butt. This is unacceptable. You're clearly taking advantage of other people. This is a fraud to the fraudest of fraud degrees. This is insane. I don't get it. All right, we got a full video here. Let's take a look at the video. I don't know if I can full screen this. Yeah, we can full screen it. Okay, so he's got at least he's got the stuff blurred out on there. Nice. We got handle with care, so packaged very nicely. And that's the thing with something like this, but I guess even the previous example that we looked at, someone was sitting on a ton of boxes and didn't bother opening any of them to find out if the contents were bad. Holy blur. But surely if somebody's buying these to resell them or anything like that, they're not going to run into an issue. They're going to know right away as soon as one of the boxes gets opened. If you're reselling this stuff, I guess you probably want to check one of those boxes right away as soon as you get them. That way you don't send these out. Can you imagine this person sends it? He's selling all these boxes and he sends them out to everyone and everyone's getting orange juice and then they don't know whether to blame him or to blame the person that he got the boxes from. Clearly he had to check the boxes. Can we get some unblur here for a second? Regardless, we're gonna open the packaging here, discover the orange juice and or the milk. I guess it's at least there's a mystery surprise aspect to the boxes, but it's sad to see that so much of this shady behavior. I don't know if we've even seen this much shady behavior in modern English in 2021 at the peak hype. I don't think we saw. I mean, there's always been reseals especially on like vintage stuff or stuff where it's worth it. We've seen a ton of stuff with the whatnot and the TikTok and the breakers that are taking stuff off camera that are probably who knows how many are actually like resealing the packs, which is again why I would just advise people to avoid the whole rip and ship from Sketchdog 69s, especially if they're running the carnival bounties to the extreme. All right, there is no way. Oh my god, this is a long ass video. I didn't realize it was. I was like, what in the world? All right, we'll click through here. Give you guys a pretty good idea of what's going on. I mean, we've already seen the images, so here we go. Let's get to the unwrapping. So again, there's quite a bit of variation within the plastic wrap on the Japanese boxes too. If it's crunchy, it's a no-go. That's a reseal. They never use anything that's crunchy, but also there are different thicknesses, which is kind of probably pretty hard to tell without taking the wrap off of the box itself or like pulling at it. But again, and then sometimes it has those little, where they put too much heat to it. Again, these boxes don't have the pull strip, but the pull strip does not matter. The pull strip is a false sense of security. The pull strip is doing nothing because they can pull the sides out. If anything, it makes it better for scamming with. So we got the for sale in Japan only. And again, it's sad to see if there's not much that people can do. But if any of these people have the information from the people they purchased from, please do reach out to me, and I will forward it to the appropriate people that can take action on this stuff. Wait, so we got packs on top and then juice underneath? What in the... What we got going on here? So that one looks fine. Oh wait, okay. So some of them are fine. Okay, so these are the numbers that I was talking about earlier, that 230, 441. They should all be the same number within the same box. If they're not, then it's possible that someone swapped out your big hit for another one. If there's one or two missing from the box, or one or two that are different. Sometimes the numbers look like crap. Sometimes they're in different spots, as we'll probably see here. Like this one here, where it's kind of like half-ass on there. I think there were people that were stamping their own numbers on them so that they would match. But yeah. So you got to be careful for that. But I think in this instance, it's more the fact that they're... see if we can find a juice box pack. All right, this one. Now, wrap. See if the wrap is different on this one. So I don't know if they would have resealed some of the boxes. So maybe that's a danger too. If you have to, he's got the scale out there, so I don't know if he's weighing the boxes to make sure they're all the same weight. I mean, if the criminal's smart enough, that they're gonna make it the same weight. But at the same time, you know, I don't know. We've seen some criminals do some pretty dumb stuff. So it wouldn't surprise me. Well, putting liquid in there is pretty dumb to begin with, because if you're shipping it anywhere, it might get flagged for that. Ooh. Okay, wait, we got a slash mark on the box there, which is not a good sign. So that's the thing too, and this is more with like vintage English whatever boxes. If you're seeing damage on the box and it's not on the wrap, that's a pretty bad sign. Yeah, there we go. We got the 100 orange juice hotel breakfast. So I'm assuming that it makes a sloshing noise if you shake it around. But yeah, pretty insane. So he's gonna go through a bunch more of the boxes here. So you kind of have to open them at this point. I don't know if you could sell them to people. The ones that maybe if they all have the same number, if they don't have the orange juice in them, you have the open box, and then people got to trust you, or you'd have to put some kind of tamper-proof seals on it to show people that nothing was changed out. You just verified the contents, and then people that want it as a sealed box. We get into the whole like nonsense that is like vintage Pokemon in English, the issues that we have with that. So I don't know if some of these if however these were sourced, some of them were sourced from someone, so they might have to track it back or trace it back to the person that actually sent these out, whether their source, one of their sources, one of their multiple sources, was doing the old orange juice scam. But yeah, pretty ridiculous, pretty unacceptable. We have, at least the drink is sealed. I don't know about that. Protein milk, wow, savages. Pretty awful. Me looking at my 4 boxes I still need to open. Yeah, this is the concern. And then also, depending on how you got those 4 boxes, you might be in trouble. Depending on where you bought them from, depending on how you paid for them. I know you see every now and then people will be like, this is why you shouldn't be buying Japanese stuff, serves you right, whatever. No, there's no victim blaming. No victim blaming here. This is unacceptable. Regardless, it's still fraud. I know the box on it says, not for sale outside of Japan, but that is not an excuse for someone to commit fraud. Again, you can use Bai. There are options here for Yahoo Japan and Mercari, but I would say if you're doing modern sealed Japanese product, it used to be a good option to be able to use those for it. Currently, not a good option. Do not do it. Don't do it. Also, within like the even Pokemon cards, like whether you're buying collections or whatever that's on there, you have to be careful. You have to assume that there's some risk because, again, it's just anyone that can sell their old Pokemon cards or whatever on there. Oftentimes, you'll see the same thing tactic in English where you have a bunch of cool cards on the top. Underneath, it's a bunch of sucky crap. So keep that in mind. And also, you're going to get the same things with the collection buys in English where people are like, oh, I'm just selling my collection. And then you go look at their selling history and it shows that they've been absolutely dumping Pokemon collection after collection. They're just a Pokemon reseller, essentially, that is mocking up. People do it with binders too, like binder collections. They claim it's a binder collection, but it's really just a Pokemon flipper that assembled a binder of some sort. They're going to show you the good stuff, and then the bad stuff is going to be conveniently left out. But again, you can save 2,000 yen. If you need to learn how to use Bai, I'll link the video down below. I'll link the link down below that you can sign up with to get 2,000 yen off your first purchase. Again, I tell people this. I've had a few people. If you need additional assistance, you can join the Discord and ask me. But it's my personal opinion. At least if it was me, if I was really into collecting the Japanese stuff, I would more go for the singles route. And if there's obscure stuff that you're looking for, I can do my best to help you with your search on that stuff. There's an add to Bai extension that you should be downloading if you're using Bai, and that will allow you to shop on your Amazon Japan. You set the old deliver to up here to you can anywhere in Japan. Is it a postal code? Is it a postal code in Japan? Probably 1400001 is what I use. It's just the I guess basic Tokyo address, but that will allow you to see everything that's on Amazon.jp and everything that's available in Japan. There will maybe be some stuff that will ship to you depending on your location. If you're in the US or Canada, you can set your address to that. You can make an account. But if you want to see basically everything that's on there, you have to enter the Japanese postal code here, use the Bai add to Bai extension, and you can buy anything that's on there. If you're looking for 151, now the chance, as far as I've heard from anyone that I've heard from, we have this one here. This is 5,808. I know what you're saying. You're like, Rattle, oh my God, you found it. You found the MSRP booster boxes. Yes, but it's a basically available by invitation. So you make your account, you sign up for this, and essentially if they send you an email and telling you that you're allowed to buy it, then you can buy it. So if you're collecting Japanese and you're looking for a chance at an inexpensive 151 booster box, I suggest you take a look into this. You sign up for it. It's just like I think it's like 1 or 2 clicks once you're in there to sign up for it. If you get the invitation, awesome. Regular price Japanese product would be pretty cool. Maybe I need to make a video on it, but there's also like the lottery through the Pokemon Center. I don't know if that's still available for 151, but it will require other means with like a Tenzo account or whatever. So maybe we get into showing people how to do that. It's regardless, guys, you got to be careful. I mean, you got to be careful with any online purchases for this stuff, whether it's English, Japanese, or whatever. But you got to be especially careful right now. Your Yahoo Japans and your Mercaris, they're bad. They're really, really bad right now, to the point that I would advise people against ever trying to pick anything up on there, because you're paying close to what it would be anyway on Amazon. There's a little bit more protection in terms of like repercussions and a little bit more qualifications that are required to sell on the Amazon site, and just a better chance at basically getting your money back. So that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest lesson of the video here. Once again, make sure you're buying stuff in a way. Don't let the $5 less, the friends and family, the like sketchy websites, the Mercari and the Yahoo Japan are not an option at the current time. We have to you know, do not let the $5 off piece of candy dangling in front of you kind of sway your decision or make you take a risk that you shouldn't take. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I got for today. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. Make sure you join the Discord and look out for each other out there. And again, if you need some advice on this stuff, the Discord is probably the place to ask. You can come in, ask in general chat is probably the best way. My DMs are an absolute backlog of hell. But come on in there. If someone else can't answer you, I will probably be able to answer you at some point if there's some questions there. Again, I'm not like the ultimate Japanese Pokemon collector expert, but you know, it just takes practice. You can get to know how to learn this stuff. I can teach you the basics, and from there, if somebody else can't tell you, then it's practice. Practice makes perfect. But also, we got to be extra careful these days. So. There. All right. I don't know. This was supposed to be an outro like 5 minutes ago. All right. See you guys. Bye.